Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is the Prince of FNAF, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing, and also be sure to hit that notification bell. That way, you'll indeed be notified for any awesome videos like this in the future. Alright everybody, it's indeed Halloween at Freddy's this year, as I have managed to gather all of the 4 Halloween-themed Five Nights at Freddy's figures in this new lineup of Five Nights at Freddy's Funko articulated action figures. The first one we have here is Dreadbear, looking pretty cool, and I love the Halloween kind of box art. Looks pretty cool. Dreadbear there looks pretty awesome. And at the back of the box, you can see the selection of other figures, some more awesome Halloween style backdrops. You can see that Dreadbear is available, Jack-o'-lantern Bonnie, Glitch Trap, and Grim Foxy. Alright, first I'm gonna get Glitch Trap out of the way. Now, as much as I hate the character and I think he's a horrible version of Springtrap and just looks goofy and silly and just generally really stupid, I do gotta say, for as much as I hate the character, I think they definitely did a great job with this guy. He looks super good, you know, for being a Glitch Trap figure and everything. Again, much like Vanny, not happy with the kind of animatronic joints, considering it's just a dude in a suit, not a animatronic. It's still good, and I understand why they have to do it this way. It saves a lot more money than having to design all new articulation for the figures, but it's pretty cool. I like the kind of withering done to his suit. Looks pretty cool. It's not just a matte, gross color like the prototype looked like it had, and it's pretty cool. For articulation, his head does rotate 360 degrees. He can do the Exorcist. His arms move out this far. They're hindered by his kind of bow tie. He can move all the way around. And same for this side. They move all the way around. And his arms can move forward that much. And that's about it. An interesting thing about this figure is it's brand new sculpt, so it does have this kind of rotation at the wrists, which I think is cool. Legs move out that far. Shit. Legs move out that far, and they move back that far. Does have a nice joint here. And his feet do have... oh, looks like they did, but it doesn't look like they do. But it's a nice figure altogether. I don't like the character, but I think he's definitely a good representation of the character. Next up, here's Dreadbear, looking pretty cool. I like the kind of gross, kind of rotten green they went with. He's super cool. Now, I'm not going to go through the articulation on all of them. He has the same kind of articulation. No waist swivel. But he is pretty cool. I like the claws, they look really nice, and they're nicely sculpted. I like all the stitch work. And I like the kind of contrast between him looking like he's rotten and then looking like he's stone. Because if you look at his feet, they look like stones. And it's really cool. He has a kind of Frankenstein look done within kind of like a green, gross, rotten, like tombstone. And I think it's super cool. I like how his bow tie is kind of crooked. And he looks genuinely really cool. He can get into kind of like a zombie lumbering pose, but he's just a really cool character. And his eyes really capture the light and make him look like they're glowing. But he is pretty cool. Lots of nice sculpting and kind of the breaks up in the animatronic and all the damages and kind of the stitch work. He looks great. He's a solid figure, and I love him. Super cool. It's kind of made for those kind of Frankenstein, Universal Monster type of people who really enjoy that kind of stuff. Next up, here's Jack-o'-lantern Bonnie, looking pretty cool. Now, I do like the figure. I think it's great. Obviously, it's mostly rehash of the Nightmare Bonnie figure that they came out with. I think it's the exact same sculpt, just with a different head, with the kind of broken nose and most of the face missing. But for what it is, it's a really nice figure. I like the translucent plastic. It looks really good under some nice lights. However, I would have liked them to do more with the figure and actually have it look like he's like burning within, because technically this character is a living jack-o'-lantern. So it would have been really cool to have like maybe a translucent plastic inside of the figure to really give it that kind of jack-o'-lantern, living jack-o'-lantern type of feel, but it's still a really cool figure and I love it. Absolutely pays the character tribute nice. And I would even like to see a re-release of the jack-o'-lantern Chica figure from GameStop done in this kind of translucent plastic style. Alas, I've saved my favorite for last, mateys, and that is Grim Foxy. Again, I like the idea of the translucent plastic. I just think that they could have done more, again, to signify the character is on fire rather than just having a translucent plastic. But it still looks nice. I'm not griping on that. It looks nice. The execution is done well. I just, in this figure's case, they could have actually sculpted some little fire effects to really showcase that the character is on fire, because Foxy literally is on fire. And you can visibly see it in the game where he's like literally on fire. The actual animatronic itself is burning, which I think is cool. But yeah, they didn't do that here. They just had the kind of translucent torso and head, but it still looks great. I love it. It's super cool. Again, using parts from Nightmare Foxy with added, pieces like the head and the torso. But it's still pretty cool, and I love it. I love this huge, kind of nasty Grim Reaper scythe hook that he has. I love the angle of his claws or in this, these kind of grabbing claw state. I love the spikes on his shoulders. He looks so cool, and he looks just awesome and intimidating. But yeah, I love him. He's so cool, and he's definitely going to be at home in my collection. Anyway, I think the new set of Five Nights at Freddy's The Curse of Dreadbear Halloween-themed figures from Funko are awesome, and I think that they're going to look great on display this Halloween, and I think it's definitely a real treat rather than a trick for Five Nights at Freddy's fans this year. With that being said, hope you guys had a great night, happy Halloween, and happy haunts.